Yo, this is Jake. They call me Dr. Flock.
Views.
What's up? It's John.
Views.
And it's real life doing this, bitch.
Views. You are now listening to the Views from the Chair podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm all set. Views from the Chair, we're live, episode 52, here with John. Flock is out. He's in New York on vacation with his family. Looks like a beautiful vacation. And this week we have the substitute Flock, my boy Dexter.
Hey guys, big fan of the show. Super excited to be here.
My boy Dex, dude, super introduction. Dexter's got like 15 podcasts. He's been doing podcasts for fucking ever. He might have been one of the first people to do it. Industry friends, Bro Talk Live, who I had the pleasure of being on that show as well. And I know he's got an extra one. I don't know if he wants to throw that out there or not, but he's got a few podcasts, and he might be the most media guy I've ever met in my life.
I appreciate that.
Dexter's on Views from the Chair this week. We're really excited to have him.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm a big fan of the show. I like it. I remember one time we were talking, Dylan, you were telling me about one of my podcasts. You were like, it's not enough toxic conversation on there. And I take that serious. Like, I'm like, I agree with it. And I feel like and when you say toxic, for me, it's more so like real. And I feel like you guys have like really real conversation that I don't think, I definitely don't do it. So it's cool to like see that and like to hear it too.
Dex texted me one day and said, I'm listening to the show and it makes me feel cool, and I've never felt cooler than to have that text message in my life. So, Dex, I appreciate you making me feel cool, bro. Dex literally has been doing podcasts for like 4 years now. He's got multiple shows. He's like a producer. He does production. He does editing. Super dope guy. We worked together for probably like three years.
Probably, yeah.
3 years, and Dex is the man. So glad to have you on the show, bud.
I appreciate it.
Let's get it. Glad you're here, man.
Thank you.
Love the background, bro.
No, you got to show love to the show.
But my man Dex has been doing our show for 5 minutes, and this motherfucker's got the background. He's way more professional than us already. Way more professional than us already. And if you guys don't tune in, Dex got Bro Talk Live, and it's super produced and super sick, like really clean edit podcast. It looks like a real show. So he's like light years ahead of us on that aspect. So check into that shit and follow Dex on whatever his Instas are.
Yeah, but all you guys have personality though, so that's a difference.
Appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Yeah, it's been a beautiful week or so, a beautiful 2 weeks. So I'm glad to be here. It's really nice out today. I'm mad chipper, yeah. I'm mad chipper. It's a good week.
As you should.
There's a lot of shit moving over here.
Life is beautiful.
It's fucking bag season over here, Dex. Dex is a part of bag season. It's bag season over here. It's a bag season.
Good times.
Bag season. John owns a store, dog. That's what we out here getting money at this spot, dog. Shit crazy. Yo, Kanye West, he's a fucking snake, right? That's your guy, John.
Damn, how'd you get Snake? You starting off hot. Kanye West a snake right off the gate? Why?
He's a snake, bro. How is he not?
What did he do to praise the snake?
Kanye West did the Drink Champs interview, and usually I'm not that big on Drink Champs because Nori cuts everybody off and he gets a little too blitz. It was a pretty good job by Nori this time. I think they came on their A game. Like, they realized it was going to be really, really watched. So that was kind of dope. You disagree, Dex?
He was dick eating the whole time. Like, I was just like, oh my God. See nothing like it. Like, it's Kanye West and you're excited or whatever, but it was just like, I don't normally listen to the show, so I don't know if this is just his personality, but like, he was like laughing all hard and ugly. Like, it was just like, come on, like, relax a little bit. Like, you, at the end of the day, this is still a man. When he was like, this part when he was like, when I introduced you to my wife, and I was like, this is who we named our daughter after. He's like, that was the most special moment in my life. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, that was just too much to me.
That's hard, though. That's hard. That's not dicky. Like, if motherfucking Jay-Z came up to me and said, yo, my daughter's named Dylan after you, I might pass the fuck out. And I'm not even a groupie. You're like, that's a lot.
This is your friend, so it's kind of like I appreciate it. It's also,
I don't think they're friends. I don't think they're buddies.
Kanye and Nori?
I wouldn't think Kanye and Nori are like fucking chatting around or hanging around or nothing.
I mean, the way they made it seemed like they had some type of relationship.
That's what I thought too.
I wouldn't say they didn't have any relationship.
I wouldn't call them friends, bro. You think Nori had his number before the interview?
I mean, maybe. I mean, if Soldier Boy got his number, I'm pretty sure Nori got his number.
And Kanye's not just gonna do no interview with anybody. So
Nah,
like they would have had to have some type of relationship.
right.
All right, so Kanye West gets on the Drink Champ shit, and if you're familiar with Drink Champs, they usually get pretty fucked up and like just basically chat about bullshit. And it was interesting. Like he said a bunch of stuff, and like, yo, cool for Kanye if he's worth $9 billion or $6 billion or $8 trillion or whatever it is. Like that's super dope to see Kanye be worth that much. He's a piece of shit.
Damn, why does such the harsh acclaim for Ye? Like, what did he do to say that he was a piece of shit?
All right, so like for example, like let's go for this like a very small portion of the interview. He talks about Soldier Boy. It's like, you know, Soldier Boy's dope, blah blah, like super cool guy. I love Soldier Boy. And they're like, yeah, why didn't you put the verse on there? And he's like, did you hear the verse? Like basically shitting on the verse like it was trash. And if you heard the verse, it was trash.
Okay,
like, it was
so what's he supposed to say?
Why are you texting somebody that sent you the verse saying this is the most fire verse in the world? Yeah, I love this verse. This shit's so fucking crazy. It's dope. Just to run back and go publicly on one of the bigger interviews you've done in a few years and say the verse was fucking trash. I wouldn't put it on there. That's corny.
Sounds relatable. Sounds like me.
I mean, before that, he even bigged him up pretty crazy. He said he's one of the most influential people in rap. He said all this shit is because of Soulja Boy. So it wasn't like he just slandered his verse, but I feel like he was honest during the interview. Honestly, from me listening to it, I felt like he wasn't holding his tongue. I mean, the only slight that I see, I mean, it was so much positive things that came from the interview, but the only slight
multiple
that I was like, that was like a little out of pocket was the Just Blaze shit. That was the only thing I was like, damn, you kind of draw right there. But everything else, I felt like it was fair game.
Wait, what did he say about Just Blaze?
That he copied him and look where I'm at and look where he's at. And Just Blaze is in a pretty comfortable spot.
He did that with Talib Kweli too, when he said, like, would you rather be me or would you rather be him? And like, honestly,
he did say that.
Where would you rather be? I don't know. I thought the interview was great. Like, I think that an hour and a half was enough. That last 30 minutes, he started doing what he does, and that was probably the time to unplug. But overall, I thought it was great. I love the Big Sean stuff, the John Legend stuff, the Kamala Harris stuff, the Joe Biden stuff. I thought it was all great.
That's what you're saying. Only slight, and it's Big Sean. It's fucking.
I mean, Big Sean wasn't really a slight though. Was it really a slight?
You earned it.
He said when he died, he deserved to die because he signed Big Sean. That's a fucking slip.
I love that.
I mean, if that's how you feel, though, bro, like how you gonna be mad at him?
That's my shit with Kanye, though. He's fake as fuck. If that's how he feels, why did he text Soulja Boy today and say sorry? I should have just told you I wasn't gonna put the verse on the album.
I mean,
don't say that shit after you tell fucking 20 million people that shit. That's corny. That's corny shit.
Did Soulja Boy accept the apology?
He's a cornball. I'm not going by a corny ball.
All right, so we talk about two corny situations. I believe two negatives equal out. So I mean,
no, two cornies don't make it cool, bro.
I do agree with what you're saying, that like with the Soulja Boy stuff, like you shouldn't tell him that the verse is fire, then don't put it on there, and then tell somebody else that the verse was trash. I think it's fine to tell Soulja Boy that the verse was fire. Don't put it on there because you personally think it's garbage, but like don't repeat that publicly to anybody else, because that's the same thing that Big Sean and Common and John Legend did to him. Like publicly, they're kind of trashing you for running for president, but like privately, I'm sure they weren't having those conversations with him.
But why do you think they weren't?
Because like with me and you, if we were having a conversation privately, there's no reason for me to speak about it publicly. Like if anybody else asked me about it, like I'm not talking about that. Like I'd rather just move on, because when your friends say something negative about you to your enemies or anybody else, it validates what they're saying. Like don't talk about me negatively in public.
That's a fair point. But say like, all right, I didn't fuck with the Big Sean shit, because if I'm out publicly, if you're out here saying like, yo, fuck Dill, he's a bitch, and then me and you hang out 2 weeks later and I don't say anything about it, like you're assuming that I have no problems with it. Because why wouldn't I bring it up to you in person?
You kicked my back in though.
So like why if I'm Kanye and Big Sean does all this shit I don't like and I think it's corny, and then I meet up with them and I invite him out and we hang out and we're buddies, and then 3 weeks later I'm telling people I deserve to die because I signed him, that's fucking corny shit. That's cornball shit.
I think Kanye is afraid of confrontation.
And 100%. So he's pussy.
He probably is. And I mean, he did say he loved Big Sean, but at the end of the day, that's how he felt about the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't. It could have came from Big Sean wanting his masters back, and maybe it's a headache for Ye, and maybe like, damn, like that was the worst thing I did was sign Big Sean. Like I didn't think I would have to deal with all this. I mean, you don't know. He ain't really explain why he said it. He didn't say because he was a bad rapper. He just said that was one of the worst decisions I made was signing Big Sean.
And the Talib Kweli shit was corny too.
No, Talib Kweli was running. Yeah,
that
you
shit
were
was fun. That's fine. I understand that. But that, like, John, I know you've been listening to Kanye since day one. He used to worship Talib.
I ain't gonna say worship, but he just said in that interview he don't even like how you rap.
If the bitches is on my dick because I know Talib. Oh, you know Kweli? Yeah, put him on the phone. He starts hitting his verse. He worshipped Kweli, dog. Like he was really a top tier rapper, So if you're mad at him, you go on a public platform and shit on his rapping ability. That's fake.
Kweli shit on his whole life.
He was doing that shit.
What was he doing though? Disagreeing with Kweli?
He put a fucking MAGA hat on, dog, and was on some weird shit. What are you talking about? What did he say on that, John?
I love his stance on the MAGA hat too.
Exactly. He said I still got the hat.
Yeah, and I support that for sure.
Yeah, it's just weird.
He still don't. I mean, he ain't backing down from it. I mean, you can't blame somebody for their political views or whatever it was. He didn't say he agreed with everything Trump did, but I mean, to me, he put the hat on to show like you can have your own opinion. Like he said, Push voted Democrat. He took a shot at Kamala when he said that shit. Like we ain't seen her since the inauguration, but he said Push voted Democrat, but he ain't bashed me publicly. You ain't got to bash the man publicly just for his political stance.
No, I agree. I agree with Kanye's point on that. Like, yeah, you don't have to. None of them should have bashed him publicly for that shit.
Well, actually,
like I don't support that shit. But what that's
they were more so bashing him, which I think is deeper for him actually running. Like, remember he was on some ballots in some places, and they were saying he's crazy for doing that. And I think if you bash me for my political opinions, like I can actually be okay with it, but I can't be okay with you bashing me for trying to run.
Right. I didn't see too many. Like this wasn't the typical Kanye's bugging interview. This isn't the Breakfast Club. This isn't the Sway. I feel like he's at where he said he was going to be at in all those interviews, which is kind of crazy to me. Huh?
The last 30 minutes was a bit like it was when he's talking about his dad and buying the breast for his dad's girlfriend.
I mean, but at that moment, I mean, if you listen to Drink Champs, at that moment, they're gone. They're like out of here. They're homeboys at the bar talking at that point. So you can see even Nori and EFN was like, okay, let's get up out of here.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about titties now. This is a little while, but I mean, it was all in fun. So I mean, I didn't see too much wrong with the interview. I mean, I'm a Kanye fan, so it's like I don't agree with everything he does, but at the end of the day, it's Kanye.
And you're Jay-Z's like number one fan. How do you feel about him saying everybody knows Jay-Z's selfish?
I mean, he's not the only person to say it. That's another thing. Like a lot of the shit he said, he's not the only person to say it. Like Dame has told us this. And again, I like these people as artists. I don't know these people personally. Same with Ye. I can like Ye as an artist and not bang with him personally. And I don't even know. I'm not saying I don't bang with him personally, but I mean, how am I supposed to feel about him saying Jay-Z selfish? Like he's shedding light on his brother. Like that's somebody he know him way better than me, so he would definitely have a better gauge on it. And I mean, I'm glad that track ain't make it because I ain't like that album. So
yeah, I did fuck with the fact he said he was taking care of Dame too. I like that shit. I fuck with that.
Well, I mean, everything he said a lot of stand-up shit.
I'm Dame with money, and Dame with money's dangerous. I like the fact that he does speak his mind, but I don't that snake shit where you see people and don't say anything and then go on a public platform and flame them after you already saw them is corny.
I don't disagree with that.
Me neither, but I mean, he's not the only person that does that shit. So it's like, I mean, that's the industry. Like, what 50 say? These industry niggas ain't friends. They know how to pretend. I mean, 50 told us in 03. So it's like, you kind of get that when you deal with industry. Like, you ain't expecting these people to be buddy. And then when they get on a public platform, and you get somebody like Kanye drunk, who knows what's going to come out of his mouth? We seen what he did with Taylor Swift.
Hey, we saw that Taylor Swift shit.
We see what he did.
But you know, he touched on that too, and he explained that too, and I like what he said about that. I don't disagree with it. He said, like, you know, like I just feel like it wasn't even a Beyonce thing. It was the fact that I felt like this art was being robbed. I don't think it's appropriate because like people are always gonna get robbed left and right, and you can't get up there and do that every time it happens. But I do feel like making that statement kind of made other people feel like it was okay long term to like speak up for themselves, and I think a lot of people do that.
One thing I disagree with Kanye is like he was very like adamant in the beginning of his interview of like how classism, slavery, and like more so like they trick us into like really valuing money and property and all this different shit. But like it seems like what he uses to like reinforce how successful he is how much he's worth.
Yeah, how much he's worth. The people that he knows, like the fashion shows, and
I don't understand that. So how can you say 1 minute they trick us into saying like, yo, you have to own a house, and I don't even own a house. I'm basically homeless because like I'm not getting tricked into that shit. But then every time you say shit, like you're arguing about Just Blaze, and you're saying, well, look where I am. I'm worth $9 billion. Or I told Jay-Z and Travis I was worth more than all of them combined. Like, so how can you say that on one hand and then reinforce how successful you are by the money you are your network? That shit doesn't make sense.
That group text was wild too.
That's facts.
even on the money aspect though, I think even more so, I think it was more to do with like, I'm here to help though. I got all this money and I'm here to help. He talking about building orphanages. He talking about you don't have to kill your baby. You could bring your child here if you don't think you could finance it. If you need money, if you scared of the money problems, I could give you money. Even with his dad, I'm worth your son worth B's. Like, you can empty the account. Guess what? I'm gonna make more. Every dollar I got is your money. So even when he talked the money shit, he wasn't like saying I'm gonna buy the Jeff Bezos yacht. He's saying I'm gonna make society better. What he say? We will be the civilization to get this shit right. So I don't think he was talking cocky with money. I think he was talking like I can change shit with my money type shit. I didn't see it as a negative the way he was talking about it.
You thought the group chat flex was not cocky? I'm texting fucking Kim Kardashian, Jay-Z, Travis Scott, Kid Cudi, Drake that I'm worth more than all you guys combined, and that was out of the whim. So you guys feel I can help if you need it. That was a flex.
I think he flexes when he feels attacked. Like when he feels like somebody's against him or whatever, he flexes. But I think as far as how he views money, it's closer to what John was saying. Like the way he was talking about it in the sense of like capitalism and stuff like that. I don't think he falls into that, but I think he likes to use money to flex because he knows everyone else values money.
But if that's the first thing you do when you're attacked, like that's obviously what you think proves your value.
Well, he thinks other people thinks that's what proves their value. So that's why he uses it.
And I think he's basically disarming them with like, I am successful. So you ain't gonna find too many crazy billionaires, like legit crazy billionaire. Like it's something to his madness. Like it's gotta be some genius there to amass that amount of money. Like, so when he says, oh, he sends the text and everybody's in the chat like, oh, he's off his meds, he needs help, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you like Dex said, he's feeling attacked and he's non-confrontational. So what's he really going to resort to is, I got all this and I don't see how that correlates to being insane, as I guess they say.
I do fuck with the fact that he was saying like he doesn't really like his first couple albums and he'll never rap that style and he doesn't even like that shit. I fuck with that type shit. Because motherfuckers do be like, yo, I can't wait till I get the old him and old this. Bro, we're all old. It's not too much shit I like now that I did when I was 18.
I still love Gold Digger though. So the fact that he said that I don't even like that song, it's like if I go to a Kanye West concert and I want to hear Gold Digger, I'm not going to hear it. That depresses me actually.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if Gold Digger came on the Kanye set and I'm at the show because we all gonna rock out the Gold Digger.
All Falls Down. You can't tell me nothing. All them type shits. I used to love them shits. Them first 3 albums were amazing.
Right.
Those first 3 albums were fucking amazing.
But I think when people say they want the old Kanye back, I don't necessarily know if they mean music. I think they mean more like personality. And I think just like how he said that music's not coming back, that personality is not coming back either. It's over with.
Right. I agree with that. It's a whole different person. I mean, it seemed like what he said he wanted to do, he accomplished that shit. And now his dreams are even fucking bigger, which is crazy. Because when you got, again, that much money, like the things you could do is damn near endless. And I mean, you building cities, You got schools. I just seen highlights. He got a top 10 NBA prospect on his fucking high school basketball. Like he just doing different shit, even down to when he talked about his son with school. Like he going to Sierra Canyon, but daddy got his own school. Like this school confusing you, and it's just stuff like it's just he was talking fly for real. Like, and I'm not mad at that when it came to the money situation.
Nah, I fuck with Kanye. I think he's a visionary in certain aspects, and you got to be a little crazy to like go outside that element, and you got to respect that we was watching that fucking "Where's the Money" sway type shit, and fucking 10 years later he's worth $9 billion. That's nuts. That's fucking nuts.
Walt Disney doesn't sound as crazy as it did that long ago. Like,
and
I'm Walt Disney. I'm Steve Jobs. We used to look at him like, what the fuck? And now he's up there. Like, nah, these my peers.
And that shit is crazy. I fuck with that type of shit. And the transparency of saying like how his other friends got put on to different companies and like he was kind of jealous about it. I fuck with that type of shit because people don't talk like that.
They don't.
It was an honest interview, and that's why I don't think it was bad. Like I said, for me, the only slight that I kind of looked at like was the Just Blaze shit, because Just Blaze he ain't bothering nobody. Just Blaze is doing cool shit, collecting vintage cool video, all types of cool shit. But yeah, that was the only thing that I looked at the interview like, damn, you ain't have to do that kind of.
And if Just Blaze is coming back and saying, hey, he just reached out to me to work on his project, why are you saying that?
That's true too.
Why are you saying that? Like, what's wrong with you, yo? Why would you just reach out to this motherfucker 3 months ago and now you're saying he's trash because he's just a copycat and look how successful I am in comparison to him? That's the type of shit that I'd be like, yo, shut the fuck up, dog. Shut up.
But I do think though, like Kanye knows how he feels about those people, and like he could have went in there and said like, we can't talk about this, and this, and put Big Sean and Just Blaze and Beanie Siegel and all these other people on that list, and he didn't do that. And like I think he was open and transparent, and that I do respect, because like these artists these days, like they give you this list of stuff that you can't talk about, which is everything that's interesting about them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, before we get off this, one question: how much money of that $50 million did Beanie Siegel already spend before he got it? That shit's gone. He's not even gonna get it.
I was wondering. I'm like, damn, 50. That's a big. I mean, you ain't say that number. Beans came up with that 50. So, yeah. So I'm like, damn, 50. He might get you 10.
5%. Yeah. That beans money gone already. Cause I thought he was gonna give him like 500 racks. He said he gave him 50 piece.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I went back and listened. Like he said, 50? Nah, I ain't hear that. He said he gonna give me some money though. Like he got some bread for you.
Because if he gave Beans 50, he'd be dead in a week.
Yeah, he's fucked up.
Beans got half a kidney left, dog. That shit, he's not making it past that. That shit's done. What's Beans got? Half a lung or some shit like that, right?
Oh my god.
He does, dog. He got hit up. Remember he lost a lung or a kidney or some shit?
I remember, yeah.
I know he got shot, lost his voice. I don't know about the lung situation.
I think he lost a lung. He only got one lung left.
For a while or something. I believe that was
motherfucking $50 million. He could buy another one.
No bullshit.
He's gonna be right back on top.
Might even be able to get the voice fixed with that shit.
No cap, dog. The Squid Game shit, dog. You're gonna get the new lung, dog.
Right.
Oh, dude, John, you're probably the biggest Travis Scott fan I know. You want to break down that situation and chat about that?
If you don't know what happened at Astro World, you're living under a rock. But Astro World, I don't even know how I would explain it. It was just a tragic situation. Astro World, the annual Travis Scott Festival in Houston, Texas. I guess 8 confirmed deaths. That's still the number. 8 confirmed deaths. What was it? A 14-year-old, 16-year-old, 14-year-old, like a 27-year-old, I think a 30-year-old, and multiple injuries. Just a sad situation. I don't know who the blame goes to. I feel like all parties involved kind of blame. A lot of people trying to blame Travis. A lot of people trying to cancel Travis. How do you feel about canceling Travis for what people in the crowd did?
I think that is the biggest thing. I think the crowd is responsible for it. Like they literally did it. But like I also think you got to go back to like, well, how was the crowd able to do it? And you see that one video of the people in the crowd bum rushing it. It's like 9:00 in the morning they were doing it. The city and the police officers, like you knew that happened. Like there was literally evidence of it happening, and you guys didn't shut it down. So it's like if I'm the artist or I'm the artist's team, and I get on stage and I'm performing or whatever, and you guys already let this happen, like it's kind of y'all fault already that this
Yeah.
took place. Like, what do you want him to do at this point? And I think Travis, he's apologized for it. He's
Yeah.
like, he said he's going to pay for the funerals. I believe he said he's going to do a refund. He's canceled shows.
Mhm.
At this point, like, I don't really know what else there is for him to do.
Yeah.
Don't make no more apology videos though. That apology video was garbage.
Yeah, it was kind of whack. I mean, I think he did it a little too early. Well, I don't know if you could do it too early, but I feel like it was too early. It didn't look prepared. Not that you have to have a prepared statement because you do want it to be honest and genuine, but it was just a little I mean, but what else do you say in that situation at the same time?
What he said wasn't the problem. It was his mannerisms. Like it seemed like he was trying to like fake cry, and like it was kind of silly. Like,
and then they said he had the after party at Dave and Buster's, which is a funny after party spot. He still went to the after party.
Nah, they did say once he found out people died, he left the party immediately though.
Yeah, bro. I mean, honestly, I don't really know. Like, I get like John, you put me onto the Ben Baller shit, so I was listening to it yesterday, and like I get the outrage behind it, and like I see the video clip circulating where it's like, yo, people are dying, and he's like, yo, who's telling me to stop the show? We're gonna keep going. Like, it's easy to look at that point of view and go, man, he's a piece of shit. But like, yo, when you're on a stage and you're looking at fucking like 30, 40, 50,000, they probably have 200,000 people there. Like, you just hear people going, stop, stop, stop. You're not actually seeing the dead bodies. Even when he was hitting the on, like, you're not seeing the dead bodies. So, and if all the shows Travis Scott's done and nobody's died, and he's done that, like, real rage, do this shit, do that shit, he's not assuming people are actually dead. Now, is he partially at fault because he's already got in trouble for inciting riots and whatnot? I mean, I guess that's kind of the gamble you take when you have that kind of show. So, like, if you tell people to jump the barrier and do this shit, well, if you're going to tell people that shit, then maybe you should factor in the consequences. This might not happen every time, or it might happen once in a fucking blue moon, but it could potentially happen, dog. So, like, you want to incite the fucking crowd to jump barriers and crowd in and people die? You got to live with that shit.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we all seen the documentary, and I've been to a Travis show, and I mean, I'm a grown-ass man, but I know better than when I seen the shit that was down there. I'm like, that's my nigga, but I would never be down there. Like, I done been pushed up and close at a Kendrick show, nothing to that magnitude, but I've never been to a festival. I know Dill has. I'm not sure if you have, Dex. Have y'all like ever felt that type of energy at a festival? Like, how does that go?
I've been shoulder to shoulder at a festival before. I've never been scared. Right. Like, yeah, this shit's closing in, and I'm not gonna be able to breathe, and I'm fucked up. I've never felt that, so I wouldn't like. I feel bad for the victims because I wouldn't anticipate it to get that crazy.
Right.
No,
I would not anticipate, like, reading that girl's post where she was talking about, like, yo, how the crowd just basically started sucking people in and they couldn't breathe and it was so condensed that they couldn't expand their chest. Like, that's like I went to Firefly like twice. That shit's one of the biggest festivals in the world. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like that. I was not scared like that. So, like, but The Weeknd and Chance the Rapper wasn't saying jump the barriers, everybody get as close as you can. Let's fucking go crazy, rage. If you don't rage, you pussy. Like, you got to partially take fault for that.
No, I've gone to Made in America once. I went to Made in America one time, and it felt uncomfortable overall because there were so many people there at the same time. Like, that was uncomfortable. But at the same time, like, they did a thing there this year where Meek Mill jumped on one stage and then went to another stage or whatever, and the crowd followed him. And it was just like, you're kind of responsible with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, there are people behind you, there are people next to you. Yeah, we're running to go from one stage to the next one, but you're still responsible for what you're doing. And I think that those people just showed that they weren't going to be responsible from the beginning of it. Another thing that I saw is like the headlines that came out immediately after. People were dying and they were talking about how like Kylie Jenner was there and they were like, she was fine, like nothing happened to her or whatever. And I think that but those kind of things, though, it's kind of like now all of a sudden these same media outlets are turning and they're saying like, Travis should have stopped it. He should have did this. He should have did that. But your focus and your priority were the Kardashians when this first happened. And I think that the cancel culture that we're trying to display here is misplaced. And we don't know where to put it because you can't physically blame the concert goers because you don't know who did what. You just know that those people did it. But those are the ones who are responsible for this.
And what it sounds like is the concert goers aren't really at fault because everybody was just so fucking close together and sucked in that they couldn't do shit. Like yo, if you ever go to a crazy ass packed bar or some shit, sometimes you can't move, yo. Like you can't dictate where you go, and you're gonna bump into some people. If you fucking amplify that times 300, I could imagine that like there's bodies on the ground, and you can't help but fucking step on them. And yeah, 8 people died, but I think it was like 200 that were injured. So like it must have been fucking crazy. Like it had to be nuts, yeah.
And I mean, like when you see the ages of some of the kids, like I seen a 9-year-old that got brain damage and I think a 10-year-old died. But at what point do you really want your child at a festival? Like that didn't make any sense to me, especially if you know anything about Travis, where he has a line that says, "It ain't a mosh pit if ain't no injuries." Why would you want a child in that environment? Yeah, he said
that's a line he's got, bro.
That's
charge him with manslaughter.
It's over for you.
Well, I mean, if anybody has seen the documentary that came out, was it 2019 about Astro World? The shit was so good he did the shit twice, which is crazy. But if anybody even seen that documentary, you know that's not an environment for children. Like
I don't know. I just feel like it goes back to the Made in America reference that I had. Like if you see a child there, you just have a little bit more like courtesy, in my opinion. Like I just don't think that you do certain things because you see the child there. Like people are doing drugs and all that kind of stuff like that. You're not gonna do the drug while the child is sitting there. You know what I mean? You move to another area to the side or whatever. You just don't want to do that next to somebody's child.
Maybe, but then you like, man, I'm at the festival turning up. Like you're not expecting the 10-year-old to be at the festival. Like I feel like a festival. I mean, I've never been, but from what you hear drugs. You know, drugs are gonna be at the festival.
I was very surprised when I went to Firefly and it was like mad Johns with their titties out, a bunch of girls that was naked. And at the same time, you'd see 2 girls walking around with their nasty ass titties out, and you'd hit the corner, and it would be a group of 8-year-olds, 9-years-olds.
Wild. That's wild.
I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I won't even drink a Twisted Tea in front of a child. So I don't know. I just feel like you gotta have some standards.
I said my nephew to get me a tea. Cooler on the right, Aiden.
Standards with the babies. I don't know. The fact that like the one 9-year-old, I don't think he passed, but they said he has like severe brain damage. The fact that you see a child like, on the ground, you see a child like on the ground, like hurt or whatever, and they're saying people trampled over the child and damaged all his organs and all that stuff.
That's crazy.
I mean, come on, like you see the child on the ground, like I don't know. It's just responsibility, and that didn't kick in for anybody.
I mean, have y'all seen the videos? Because the videos are even crazier than just reading stories. Because when you do see the videos, there are literal people just on the ground with people on top of them. So it's like, again, what was they supposed to do if everybody's pushing forward?
Nowhere to go.
People just start falling. Okay, so there's a 10-year-old in there. In that situation, only the strong really gonna survive. If a 10-year-old drop in that situation, you ain't gonna be able to pick that kid up.
I'm saying at that point, like if it's a 10-year-old in the pit, like you got to put that motherfucker on your shoulder or something.
Something. And honestly,
put up on the shoulder. Like
I don't even think you should be that close to where as though you're in that situation. Like you just gonna have to watch the show from back there. I'm sorry.
Johnny said we got him fucked up. He's getting trampled. I'm with him, bro. Like if it closed,
that's
the
what
crowd starts coming in and starts pressuring me and shit. Before I fall down, I will start swinging.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, you go straight to survival mode.
Back the fuck up. Yeah, back the fuck up.
I do think though, based on what you just said, John, like now I blame Travis a little bit more because if you know how sometimes if a crowd is pushing and stuff like that, you know they're trying to get away from danger. Like there's somebody fighting, there's a gun or something like that. Mm-hmm. But now knowing that this is what he encourages, it's a little hard to like defend that now because it's like these people are actually doing this because they know this is what you want them to do, not necessarily this is something that like they're trying to move away from danger or something like that.
It's definitely his culture. You listen to his music, he has a certain type of sound that will get you hyper amped, especially with this last album. Like you could listen to it and you be ready to run fucking 15 miles just off of the fucking songs. And I don't think that environment's for everybody. So again, if it gets that tight, you're automatically in survival mode. You're not worried about who's next to you unless you come with a loved one. I mean, I did see somebody lost their fiance. Somebody died saving their fiance from getting trampled.
The Indian fella. That was fucked up.
Like, damn. Like, it's just a lose-lose situation. I mean, Jade asked the question, do you think this changes festival culture moving forward?
No.
No, but it should change Travis Scott's show though, because if he doesn't get charged for this or some shit, which I don't think he will, but if you're encouraging that behavior, then you need to accept responsibility with it.
For
Just
sure.
like Dex was saying, if you're telling people we need to rage, we need to jump barriers, if somebody doesn't, like, what the fuck kind of weird shit is that to say, yo, if somebody doesn't get hurt, we're not turning up. Shut the fuck up, bro. You sound stupid. You can have a great time. You know how many heavy metal rock mosh pits happen where people don't get fucked up? They just jump into each other and shit. Like you're encouraging the wrong kind of mess, dog. That would be the same shit as if motherfucking me came to a big ass concert and said, if somebody don't shoot this shit up, we not
That's
having
different,
fun.
bro. That's
Bro,
different.
it's the same shit.
And I
bro.
don't think Travis is talking like life-threatening
Same
injuries. I mean, obviously he didn't
He
think
just
no
said
shit
if
like
you don't
this
get
would
hurt,
happen.
that's the same shit. If you
But
don't
he
get
didn't
hurt,
think
same
death
shit.
would be involved. Like, come on, let's be honest. Nobody is wanting death to be
Okay.
associated with their name because they know Travis might never be able to do a festival again because they say this is the type of shit he bring. But on the
Oh, he's
flip
done.
side,
He's
no.
done on the
On the flip side, they might say, "Damn, that shit was crazy. I want to be there next time."
He'll never get
That's
done.
just how crazy people are.
What's
It's
the
not
difference?
it's not heroin, bro.
Okay, that's what
It's
you
not
think.
heroin, bro.
Okay, I bet you if he did it again, that should have sell out.
He'll never get a.
You're
he'll never
crazy.
get a.
You're
He'll
crazy.
never
You
get a.
you don't think if Travis did another show that shit would sell out?
People would
He'll
go.
never. He'll do a show, but he'll never get like a festival type shit, bro. He'll never get a festival type shit because they won't insure that shit. We'll never have anybody insure that shit. Nobody's taking that liability.
When you see a
They're gonna
crowd,
lose, bro. They're gonna lose so much fucking money off this shit, dog.
they will, but he'll make it back. I mean, I think he was supposed to make 70 million that day.
Wow.
That's insane in a day, and it's a 2-day festival,
Would you trade
That's
70 million
crazy.
for 8 fans, Dad?
huh?
Would you trade 70 million for 8
No,
fans?
but then the next time you take the measures to make sure that shit doesn't happen again.
And
But
that's
John, what's the difference? What's the
Right,
difference? What's the difference, John, between the mosh pit situation that he's encouraging and go ahead and take back your capital, take back your country? Like, what's the difference between those two situations? Because like Donald Trump was like on trial for that because he said, "Go take back your country," and like to those people, that's you don't know what that means. Like, you don't know what like take back your country means. That really could mean go kill someone. And like once you put it out there, so like you got to be held responsible for that.
And then again, this isn't okay. We all know what a mosh pit is, right?
Yes.
It's only certain people gonna be in this mosh pit. A mosh pit isn't the crowd. A mosh pit is a circle that forms, and people just go crazy in the fucking circle. This obviously wasn't a mosh pit. This was a fucking mob. I think it was about 50,000 people that weren't supposed to be in that got in that wasn't even supposed to be there. No tickets.
He said jump the barriers. Didn't he say jump the barriers?
He does. He says that. I mean, he already pled guilty to doing that before. So, I mean, but the place could hold 200,000. It was only, I think, 50,000 tickets sold, and I think it ended up being a little over 100,000 there.
That's crazy.
So I'm saying, like, this isn't just his festival that people sneak. People sneak in and made in America. People sneak in the any festival. People sneak in concerts. People sneak in the club. People sneak in. Motherfuckers sneak into the fucking movies. Like, people gonna get in if they want to.
But Tom Cruise don't be on TV saying like, make sure y'all sneak into my movie. He don't do that.
Sneak in and draw. Yo, so don't get hurt.
I see what y'all saying, but I see what y'all saying, but he's not saying it ain't a Travis concert if nobody gets hurt in the crowd. He's saying it ain't a mosh pit if ain't no injuries. That's what I'm saying. It ain't, huh?
Which isn't true.
That's what he's saying, though. I'm not mad at that.
It's not true.
How can you be mad at? Nobody was mad at that when the album came out in 2018, 2017. Nobody cared. Nobody cared.
I've never listened to Bull. I don't know.
Nobody. Well, I'm saying nobody cared until right now.
Yeah, nobody cared. People, you can say anything, and it's really not a problem until it actually becomes a problem. Like there's no reason for us to care about it because like it didn't, nothing happened or whatever.
Yeah, he played the game until that shit caught up to him, and now he's fucked.
Nobody wants deaths at a concert. Nobody even think. I'm pretty sure Travis never thought somebody would die from. I don't even know the cause of death at this point.
From the ball mound, dog. Like what happens?
From what?
He encouraged stupid behavior and eventually it caught up to him. He should be at fault for that.
Yeah, like what kind of injuries did he want?
I mean, he's talking like bloody nose, maybe. Like, did y'all watch? Did y'all not watch the doc? That shit was
No.
alright. That shit was alright. That shit was alright. That
Didn't
shit was
watch the
alright.
doc.
And it showed the show. I mean, I feel like y'all should watch it now because it's solid. But he's not talking like
Boycott.
death. He's not talking death. It may be a broken bone, a broken arm, or some dumb shit. That's what people do.
That's
I don't
weird.
know. That's a
weird.
mosh pit though. That's a mosh
That's
pit,
weird.
bro.
That's what I'm telling you.
That's
It's
a mosh
not.
pit.
Like it's not.
It is.
Not.
Any mosh pit I've seen rock. I mean, I only seen
They be
them rock.
punching and shit, but they
Yeah,
don't.
and they're punching. That's an injury. If you punch somebody and you get a black eye,
They be going in the mosh pit and just like fucking like giving.
yeah,
like,
that's an injury. If somebody hits you in the face and your shit fractures, that's an injury.
But like
it ain't a mosh pit if ain't no
just
injury.
rule number one of mosh pits is if anybody ever goes to the ground, you pick them up. That's rule number
But,
one.
But okay,
anybody ever falls to the ground, you pick them
flip
up.
it back though. Let's go back to what it is. Nobody got hurt in the mosh pit. Motherfuckers got hurt in the crowd because it was too many people pushing.
I don't
Nobody
know.
got hurt in the mosh
So many
pit.
people though, because this motherfucker's encouraging people to jump in over to John and rush the shit. That's his fault.
Is it?
Yes, bro. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So he's at fault for everything.
No, he's
I'm just
he
saying that-
started.
I'm just saying
He
he
started
has some
the domino
blame.
effect of it. He has,
Okay, I'll take he got some blame, but to put everything on him,
did he
there's
kill
no
anybody?
way.
No. Did he start the events that killed somebody? Yes.
But also, I think back to the thing about does this change festival culture? No, because this is America. And 2 weeks from now, it's going to be Black Friday, and people are going to kill somebody at Walmart, and then next year we're going to do it again. So, like, I don't think anything changes. I think Travis is going to get more festivals. I think we're going to continue to have them too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this happens again somewhere else.
And the guy puts on a great fucking show at the end of the day.
Yeah, you love him.
The
I'm not a
the show was
conspiracy guy.
good.
Dex, are you into conspiracy theories?
I like to read them, but I don't really
Believe
get
them.
into them. Yeah.
John, are you seeing the conspiracy theory floating around that he's the devil? Like he's on some evil
That's
shit.
some bullshit shit. That's
Yeah.
some bullshit.
I know you're a big fan.
that's
I don't
some
know enough
bullshit.
about him to like. I don't believe in that type of shit, but I see it floating around.
Nah, that's some bullshit. This motherfucker never was on no devil shit. He never took it to the like Illuminati level crazy shit. He was never pouring blood on himself. He was never sacrificing. Like that shit is all done. That's like when they would say Jay-Z and Beyonce was in the fucking Illuminati. That's just some bullshit.
But what about like the signs at the concert they were saying like that, like people were linking it to like different things that they saw. Like they saw like signs about like death and all that kind of stuff like that at the
That's
show.
the shit that they'll say, but we haven't seen one picture from it.
But like what was the purpose of those signs though? Like from like a fan of his music, like what do you get
I'm
from
saying
that?
like, okay, I haven't seen any of these signs. I literally scroll. I mean, if you got it, you could pull it up.
It was something like make it to the other side or something like that I saw like written on the stage. And I don't know if it was fake or not, but I did see that. And I don't know his music, so
I don't that doesn't even ring. I literally know probably every song from his first tape to the last album.
He's not trying to make it to the other side.
I've never heard no wild shit like that. And I wouldn't even know what he would be referencing to say make it to the other side. And I know a lot of shit verbatim.
death.
think
He
so?
referenced death.
You think? But I gotta see the sign. I haven't seen it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up right now.
I just discovered gospel last week. I'm trying to make it to the other side now, dog. Tell you that
I
much.
literally haven't seen this sign.
That should sound good over there. That should sound good over there, dog.
You crazy.
That should sound. Yeah, Jonathan Nelson, dog. Look him up.
Nah, you gotta get in your Fred Hammond bag. You gotta get in your Kirk Franklin bag.
I can't get with Kirk Franklin. I don't know why. I think it's
okay, play Stomp and see if the chills don't run through your body.
You said stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like signs. It says it actually says see you on the other side, like on the stage. It doesn't resonate.
Yeah, I gotta see it. That sounds.
I don't believe in the conspiracy theory too, but I did see that, and it was a little odd to me that he would even have a sign like that.
I don't even believe that. Like, I don't want to do that today.
He's already out of here. It's like I don't see what he gains from doing that. Honestly, like what more could you ask if you about to make 70 million in a day? Like you don't want people to die at your fest. Like again, that doesn't benefit him. It does make the festival sound crazy, and like there are going to be people that say, "Oh shit, I gotta go to the next one." That shit sound crazy, but I don't see how it would really benefit him as a whole entity. Like, oh, people died or make it to like. I gotta see it. I gotta see it.
I mean, it's just a bad look on his part. It's a bad look on his part. It's a bad look for fucking Kylie posting the ambulance or the John. Like, it's just a bad look, and it kind of shows them like. It kind of reinforces this, like, the thought process of like, yo, just because shit's hectic doesn't mean it's good. Like, we shouldn't brag about how out of control shit is. Like that doesn't
And for what
necessarily.
it's worth, when he did, which would be kind of crazy that he even seen it, but he seen somebody passed out. He stopped the show. He stopped the show. Say, yo, let the ambulance get through. Let security get through.
He stopped the show. In that clip that you saw is 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
30 seconds long.
No. See, y'all talking about the one. It's more than that, though. It's more than that. Like, that's the funny shit about media.
Multiple times. He stopped the show multiple times because people were passed out, and still the show continued to go on.
People always continue their show. Like,
bro, if you see 17 people passed out, like, maybe we should call it quits.
He doesn't see people being stepped on. So you see one person passed out of the show, you stopping the whole show?
Yeah, 1, 2, maybe it's like, okay, let's get them some help.
Come on, man.
By the time we get to, like,
be realistic. Let's be realistic. Over 100,000 people there. You see one person passed out, you stopping the show?
1, 2, maybe not.
Like 4. Yeah.
Who said he's seen 4?
You
see a sea of people, even to the point where people is even, look, Johnny just said mad people was passed out of Firefly. Ain't nobody stopped the fucking show.
Johnny lied. I didn't see a single person pass out of Firefly.
Johnny was there. He said he's seen people, so I'm gonna take his word for it. I don't know.
Passed out and drunk asleep by a fucking canopy is different than passed out, dog. Passed out is when you faint in the middle of a fucking crowd.
Okay, and if you watch the video, he said, "Everybody get out the way. Let them. Don't touch." He literally said verbatim, "Don't touch him. Let security get to him and handle him."
Yeah,
we'll get back to the show. Even the people saying stop the show, how the fuck you think he about to hear that shit?
But like somebody else heard it though. Like, I'm just like, the responsibility falls on everybody, because
that's what I'm saying. You can't just be all on Travis. Okay, I do get when the girl climbed the ladder and the dude climbed the ladder to the camera dude. Maybe he could have said, because she did say somebody's dead. Mm-hmm. Like, when you hear death, then it's a different story. Like, passed out, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how you would even tell the difference, honestly. But when you hear, oh, somebody's dead over here, it's like, all right, maybe I probably got to stop if somebody dead. But I mean, and then even if you're the cameraman, you really gonna believe it? They just saying somebody dead? Like, ain't nobody dead at this shit. You ain't believing it happened.
Yeah. I wouldn't believe it.
It was just a bad situation for everybody involved. The prayers and condolences to the families. That's a whack ass way to go. Like, at a concert where you're trying to enjoy yourself and you don't come home, that would fucking suck. But
it's just like, it really shows the difference between like Travis Scott and like actual major like responsible artists, like how they would handle that situation. Because you saw like how Tiana Taylor handled it. Right.
I'm gonna just sip my drink on that, man. Because
I need a drink too.
He saw Tiana Taylor, like, and when she had her crowd, and somebody like looked like they were a little fainted, she said, "Girl, come over here, and like let me sit you down. Like, we're gonna stop this show." Like, that's how A-list celebrities.
No, I do. I agree with Dylan, but the only difference is though there were 10 people in her crowd, so it was.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We're talking about 100,000 plus. And you know people are drinking.
That's that, bro. I was about to buy. I think I might buy tickets to Tiana's show in Philly, dog. It's like, I think they're like 5,000 people crowds, 10,000.
I'm sure.
2,000.
In theory.
Tickets wasn't crazy. The tickets wasn't crazy. It was 2 for $20. It was 2 for $20.
That's fucked up. I thought you fucked with Tiana, dog.
You get a free album when you buy them.
Like, yo, you remember they was giving out Sierra albums with Burger King deals?
It was KOC. I remember that, yeah.
Nobody talks about that shit. They was giving Sierra's Fantasy Ride album with a Whopper.
That's fucked up.
That shit was crazy. She had the Justin Timberlake sample.
I gotta find that and post it.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I swear to God, they was though. And she had the Love, Sex, Magic John with Justin Timberlake, and they was giving Sierra's album out with like a Whopper meal.
It was KFC, but I think that was fake though. I don't think that was real.
That was real shit. I grabbed the album. I got the meal in there. Like,
to wrap up the Travis shit, do y'all think this taints or ends his career in any way?
no.
His career, no. People don't care.
Then I
That's
do think like it is kind of like heroin, bro. I honestly think that people will be like, "Damn, that show was fucking lit."
Oh, for sure. And if he did a concert right now, people would go to it.
And he probably wouldn't be able to do it like at that level because I think the liability is gonna be crazy. But like if he did a 10,000 people show, it would be sold the fuck out ASAP.
And I will say the rush you get from being in the mix. I mean, I was at the Kendrick show at UD. Down there,
It's like getting
you're
shot
not
at.
thinking about nothing else. Like you really just partying, like you having a great time. So even the people that probably was on the other side, that none of that shit happened.
Bro,
It was like, damn, like you there, you enjoyed the whole show. Drake comes out, all these celebrities come out. You see Drake, you going fucking nuts, and you if you were at that age.
There might have been some people there that really enjoyed almost dying, dog.
That's
People
what I'm
pay
saying.
good money to almost die, dog. They do
That's
that
what
shit.
I'm saying. Like, yo, that was crazy.
All that shit.
Yeah, I mean, imagine the stories you got leaving that Astro World concert.
Yeah, I seen a 10-year-old die. Shit was wild.
Hey, man.
Not the story I want, but motherfuckers got it.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers got it. That concert was crazy. All right, next, John, what do you want to talk about, man?
So did Leo steal Bezos' girl, or was Bezos offering his girl to Leo? Like, where we? What was that interaction like?
What was that interaction? Was that at like a award show or something?
Looked like at some rich ball, something where they spent $80,000 on a plate for a half a steak and 2 pieces of asparagus and some mashed potatoes. But
they spent that money for that and a line of coke.
Yeah, there you go. That little interaction though did look a little wild. It looked like Leo ain't want nothing to do with Bezos and the girl. I mean, I ain't never seen a woman's neck look so. She had that in a position to where as though that was she was a little thirsty.
I'm going
a little thirsty.
You could take me home if you wanted to. That's how she looked.
Basically.
Have you guys ever been in a situation that you were out with a girl and like you felt like they were being like they were overly excited to see somebody else?
Oh my gosh, no! But I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine the feeling. Like,
especially if I'm Jeff Bezos, like,
right?
I'm worth everything in the world.
I shouldn't compete with nobody. Like,
right.
If I want to look like Leo, we could reconstruct my whole body
right.
look exactly like him.
Like, I could buy Leo if you want me to. Like, that's just it's.
I could buy Leo and make him talk and act everything I say, like easily.
But if anything, what does that say about, I guess, money in a relationship? Like, does it at that point, does it even matter how much money you got?
Clearly not.
Well, you got to think if you're dating Jeff Bezos anyway, you're comfortably dating men with money your whole life,
right?
And at a certain point, like when you get Jeff Bezos rich, like how much more can you get as like say you're a gold digger? How much more can you get with Jeff Bezos money than somebody that has 100 million or 200?
Yeah.
Like either way, you're gonna have them vacations on the yacht.
Right.
Like maybe you can fly to space now. Do you really want to do that?
Right. Anybody that go to space on a Tuesday is, yeah, you live in a different type of lifestyle. Like,
that's for sure.
You live in a different type of lifestyle. I know his ego had to be smashed when he seen that shit. Like, because he looked helpless. He was like, fuck. Like,
did you see his response?
I did see his response, which was kind of crazy to put on social media. But I mean, I guess that's how billionaires joke.
But like that's the funny shit about like Jeff Bezos is a constant reminder of like money doesn't really buy shit
at all.
Because like number one, Jeff Bezos is still worried about getting his bitch stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Like a common man can relate to that, not me.
Right.
But
he got the regular guy problem still.
Yeah, like he's got regular Joe problems, and he's still out here sending dick pics.
Yeah.
To his side bitches.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos is a regular one of us, dog. It doesn't matter if he's worth $9 trillion.
Yeah.
Dude's living like the rest of us. You feel me? Like that motherfucker's out here sending dick, not that I do, but sending dick pics out. He's got to get his bitch stolen. He got divorced. He had to break his bitch off. This Jeff Bezos is out here just being a regular smoke, dog. Just a regular ass boy, dog.
But I will say though, this tells me that Leonardo DiCaprio is not a regular guy though. That is God among us. Like he's not having no issue.
That's a guy. He's an eternal. Leo knocked Rihanna off, bro. That was game over for me.
Yeah,
Leo was 40.
Leo living a life. He's living a life.
Leonardo DiCaprio was knocking. He was 46, knocking Rihanna off when he was chubby. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be insecure about hitting sevens when I'm chubby, dog. This motherfucker was knocking Rihanna off when he was chubby on the beach with some shorts, short bathing suits on. He didn't give a fuck, buddy.
Nope. I mean, why would you care? You're Leonardo DiCaprio.
Any bitch I want. Any bitch I want.
Different level.
And I can relate to him on a personal level. Like, it's hard to know that you can get anything you want. And, like, we just have to live with that. Like, it's just crazy, yo. It's
hard. It's hard, huh?
Yeah, but because I know if I ran down on Jeff Bezos, John, you'd be like, damn, nice Mets hat. Easy money, dog.
Shout out to Leo, man. He living the life, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, Leo's actually dope, and like he does a bunch of charity and shit, and like he's one of my favorite actors. Leo or Denzel? This wasn't on the topic list, but
I don't want to participate.
Yeah, I want y'all to cap on this. Leo or Denzel?
You know, I'm not like
cap either way.
I feel like John feels like he has to say Denzel Washington because he's African American, and that's just what Black people do. Like they don't have a choice. Like we just have to always like Denzel Washington. If we say anything negative about him, then we're wrong. We lose our black card and all that stuff like that. But Denzel's not the best actor in the world to me. I think he plays the same character very consistently.
Wow, really?
See,
you think so? Training Day.
Do you think Training Day and
like at some point in this movie, he's going to do the monologue where he sits and he stands there and he starts to scream. Every single one of those movies, he had the same monologue where he sits and screams at the thing. Even in The Equalizer, he did the same type of monologue that he always.
Did we all see Fences? You feel like that?
Fences was the same monologue the entire time. Like he's just very like one-dimensional. Even the movie The Equalizer, where he was like a superhero, it was just kind of like you're still doing the Denzel though. Like it's not like I don't see a lot of range. I feel like there's more range with someone like Will Smith than there is with like Denzel Washington.
You think Will Smith's a better actor than Denzel?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh. I mean, Will Smith had them 7 pounds, Jones, and them shits was good.
And Denzel doesn't even he can't make you laugh. Like you would laugh the way you would laugh at your dad. Like you wouldn't necessarily laugh because it's hilarious what he's saying. Like even in Training Day, like he had certain parts in there that you would laugh at, but they weren't meant to be funny. He's just very one-dimensional.
All right, so where you see the range in Leo? I feel like he's Leo in every movie.
What you mean?
No, I feel like
If You Can, he had The Departed. It's different, completely different roles.
Like the guy in Titanic is not the same man who played in Wolf of Wall Street. Like that's two different things. Like no way.
So Hurricane and American Gangster is the same guy.
I don't know if I've ever seen Hurricane before.
Not on the same
He was the boxer locked up. They was trying to get him out of jail.
Wasn't he in Malcolm X too?
He was Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Do you think Malcolm X was not the same guy in John Q?
I don't think Malcolm X is Alonzo.
I hate to be the guy that does this, but so you got like Dex, are you saying that Will Smith's the best black actor?
Oh.
And then I have to ask you, do you think all right, so now we take that. So is Will Smith the best actor?
Yeah. For sure.
I'm not mad at that statement. Like I said, I'm not because I do love Wolf of Wall Street.
I'm going Leo. Leo's probably
I've
the
never
best
seen
actor.
Titanic.
You've never seen Titanic?
You know I've never seen Titanic.
Well, to be fair though, he was probably 6.
Back on it, like Jesus Christ, it's fucking amazing.
I don't really care about Titanic.
No?
There's nothing about Titanic that makes me want to watch that.
No, this does make me excited to hear this though, because Dylan, like, I never hear like white people do that. Like, usually if you're black and you say like I've never seen Boys in the Hood, people are like, what do you mean you never seen Boys in the Hood? I never hear like white people have that. So the fact that I know that
Titanic's definitely one of them. Castaway, you gotta see Castaway.
Not too many people sitting through that long ass movie, bro.
That's one of y'all movies.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the one you asked that question.
It was the first fucking movie to hit $1 billion in revenue. What do you mean? It's literally the biggest movie ever until Avatar. There's a shit ton of people that said
Castaway.
Is Avatar one of y'all movies still?
Avatar? Or a fucking Castaway? You what? You didn't?
I've seen it. I just wasn't that impressed.
Forrest Gump?
Forrest Gump, yeah.
Forrest
I'd
Gump
say-
is like
I'd say
Forrest Gump is universal.
I could comfortably say if it's not Leo, Tom Hanks is.
I was gonna say you like Tom Hanks. Yeah, Tom Hanks is Buzz Lightyear, so I'm a big
I'm a
fan.
Russell Crowe guy. That's my guy.
I like Russell. I've never seen Gladiator.
No,
Me
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, it's definitely like there's certain white movies that like Dex. I wouldn't say Titanic's one of them because like you're talking more like cultural classics. I would say like Sandlot's one of them. Like if you're white, you've seen Sandlot. The Little Rascals,
Yeah,
you've seen that.
Those are essentials.
I've
Little
seen
Rascals, Sandlot, and I would say like a cult classic for whites, The Outsiders.
School did that. I wouldn't have watched that on my own
Good
term.
one. It's a good movie though.
It was cool because we read the book, and then it was like, oh, there goes the guys. Like it was cool, but I mean,
Stand By Me. That's a good one too, Johnny. Stand By Me, The Goonies. There's quite a few, honestly. But
those are boring. Like those, I mean, like I'm not going back as an adult to go back and watch any of those movies. Like, but like, what ours, like as an adult, you want to go back and watch Boys in the Hood. Like,
buddy, I've watched Forrest Gump probably like 15 times.
You'll watch Forrest Gump right now in your free time?
Yes, 100%. It's a fucking great movie. Forrest Gump? Are you kidding
But
me?
it's so long though.
It's a
Like
great movie, but it's like a time capsule of a certain period and era that it was produced in, or what it was supposed to be set in. It's a very good movie.
I will say watching Forrest Gump as an adult hits differently than watching it as a child because you actually understand what you're watching. I
It's a beautiful movie.
But I wouldn't watch it.
I'm not watching my free time.
Fun, though.
Nah.
And I can't believe you've never seen Titanic, man. Like that shit's just like a historical relevant
We
movie.
all know the story, so it's like they both died, right?
Only one. Well, I don't want to spoil it.
No,
I'm not watching it anytime soon. So
you never know.
So I'm guessing the woman lived and he died.
Like, what would you guys say? Like, what? Like, did you ever watch a movie and felt like it like really influenced your life?
Well, at the time when I watched Baby Boy, I really thought that I was gonna grow up and be Jodie. Like I thought that was gonna be my life. I was really like adamant, like being like, super excited about like this being my life or whatever. And then it didn't turn out that way, unfortunately.
Right. I don't think I ever had a movie where I was like, damn, I need to live by that. I feel like I might have took pieces and shit from movies, but not as far as like overly influenced by it. Nah.
White man can't jump.
White man, that was your shit?
I can be him.
That was your shit?
I can be him. The white fella everybody sleeps on with the baddie. Yeah, I can be him.
I do fuck with A Boogie character, Wood Harris character in Paid in Full though.
Paid in Full is an actual real movie, and it's one of the best movies I've ever watched.
If there was something like I felt like a character like that would probably be the one character where I'd be like, all right, I took some shit from A Boogie.
And Albo got killed.
Yeah. I could say that. But yeah, not really influenced though from movies as a whole.
I see Antoine Fisher's in the chat, and that movie influenced me. When I used to do like acting, I would do like the Who Will Cries for the Boy as my monologue. So yeah, that one.
Antoine Fisher was deep.
Love of basketball had me want a basketball girlfriend so bad until I realized most of them are dykes. I was completely sold on that. That was game over. Until you actually get to high school, middle school and shit, and you realize like, okay, like Stephanie's actually fucking Steve.
That movie was a reach, huh?
It's a little different.
That movie was a little reach.
It was a great movie. Yeah, like you watched it.
It was a good movie.
Like, man, if I learn how to put it between my legs, I'm gonna get my meat sucked. Like,
it was a good movie.
And then you get there and you're like, oh, they want you to start.
Yeah, this dude crazy. This dude crazy.
Oh God,
this dude's crazy. This dude is wild. Shout out to Jay Brown Sugar. That's a classic.
No, you know my favorite movie ever for real, and I don't know why we're talking about movies this long. Is Cadillac Records. Dog, I love that fucking movie.
I've never even watched it.
Oh my God, it's beautiful, dog. See the white man just capitalize off the culture like that. Like that shit's fucking like it's made into like a romance, but it's not. It's got
I never even. You seen Cadillac Records, Dex?
Like when it came out, but that movie's boring. Like it was just
bullshit, Dex.
Every time you say that, I just be like, okay, like you just
bullshit. Beautiful movie. You need to rewatch it.
You
Favorite
should.
movie? That's where you gonna put it?
I would say like if I have favorite movies, like Cadillac Records is up there, Paid in Full is up there, Forrest Gump's up there, Catch Me If You Can with Leo, that's probably up there. Fuck man, I might even go Training Day to
I
round
mean,
out my
for
top
me,
five.
my top three always been Paid in Full, Gladiator, and The First Friday. Like,
Completely forgot my favorite movie ever, Blow.
good movie.
And
But
Johnny
yeah.
Depp, I completely forgot him earlier, one of the best actors out there.
Do you guys like The Hangover? I feel like that's always like my top number one movie. The Hangover and White Chicks.
Grow up.
Yeah.
That's
I
like
can
saying
watch Hangover a million times.
Like, come on, bro.
I can watch Hangover a million times. They put the trilogy on HBO Max.
7 times. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
No, come on, bro. It's like, what's your favorite meal? Pizza and fries? Like, come on, dog.
Sometimes.
Did we see Kyle Rittenhouse with the fake tears on the stand?
Did you think they were fake?
That situation, those tears were fake. But that situation is interesting though, because like the more I read about it, like the one guy that was on the stand yesterday, he was saying that like the prosecutor, I think they said like Kyle didn't shoot at you until you came at him with a gun, pointed at him, correct? And the guy was like, yes. So it's kind of like there is an area of self-defense here. And then like I also feel like it's kind of one of those things where these people are kind of coming in on him, and that's why he did it. And that's what they're trying to prove. And it kind of seems like that's true, to be honest with you. And granted, he didn't need to be there. He didn't need to have the weapon because he drove to go there and all the extra stuff. But like, I don't know. I don't think this is as cut and dry as it seems like it is. Like, I think there is some validation on Kyle's side too.
I don't think there's any validation. It's been a while since I looked into the case, but he drove fucking 45, 50 minutes. I think maybe it might more. He drove like an hour and a half with his AR-15. He was underage. He shouldn't have had the gun. And he went in, and I think he either pointed the gun at somebody or he shot at somebody, right?
They were saying
that to where he started running afterwards, and they chased him to try and get the gun out of him, and he blasted him.
That's when he shot them, because he was in a self-defense thing. But like, it's murky though. Like when they're talking about it on the stands, like some of the things that they're saying, like it doesn't really add up the way that we were told the story before.
It's basically he ran. So like, all right. So let's say essentially that I think he started talking shit, and then he threatened somebody with a gun, and then I think they tried to get him out of there, and he ran, and they chased him to get the gun from him, and he blasted him.
I mean,
he shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been there. That's all I'm saying.
The way the story was presented
initially, like he started the events that ended in the death. Should he get blamed?
Initially, when I heard it, like initially, I thought it was he went out there and he just started randomly shooting people. That's what I thought happened, and that's why the people were coming after him. But the fact that he didn't shoot anybody first, like he just kind of had the gun, that's hard for me to be.
At the same point, though, bro, like if he goes out there and there's a bunch of crowds and he's pointing the gun at people, saying like, "Yo, fucking back up, or I'm gonna shoot you, or I'm about to do this, this, this," and I think he ended up shooting somebody or shooting at him, and then they chase him. But like, bro, you initiated the threat, so now I feel like I need to protect yourself. So now I'm trying to be a good Samaritan and stop a mass shooting. That's what I'm thinking out of it. Yeah. And the only way to stop that is
how I perceive it initially.
What the fuck is you there for? You 17 years old with an AR-15 that you shouldn't even have. You don't even live there, so you're not even protecting your fucking city. Mind your fucking business, dog. Go get some bitches. Like, what are you doing, yo?
And also,
years old.
I guess it's also important to note that like these were people protesting. Like this wasn't like a war zone or nothing like that. Like you brought a gun to a protest. So I think that needs to be like.
And that's what I was watching Fox News and they were talking about it earlier because I like to get the other side of like the opinion of shit. And they were basically saying like, yeah, he's a stupid kid and he has a hero complex. Fuck a hero complex. What right do you think that you can drive an hour and a half away, go to a city and feel like you're protecting the city from rioters or what? It's not your fucking city, pussy. And it's not your call to say if you're to stop protest or not. Like that's not your call. You're not the mayor. You're not the cop. You didn't pass any tests. You shouldn't have an AR-15. It's the same way. Like let's flip it a little bit. Like if it was a black fella or a little black kid that was 16 and went into a fucking gay rights rally and was there and was like, yo, they're gonna riot this shit. And they rushed him because he was saying some hate speech shit, and he shot them. He's getting murdered with no hesitation. They're charging him with murder for no hesitation. So why is it different?
I mean, we know why it's different, but
we know it. He's a little white fella that's going to cry on stand, but that's not fair.
While he looks at the jury to make sure they see his
look
kids
at
that aren't coming. Yeah,
they're coming.
Yeah, just wait for it. They'll be here.
They're here.
He was trying hard. He looked like one of those babies that tried to cry when they realized, damn, I can't even form no tears no more. He looked like one of those guys. That was just.
Does he get charged? Does he get charged?
I don't think he will. To be honest,
we know he won't get charged. We know that. I mean, he didn't even shoot black people, but even if he did, I still don't think he would have got charged. Like, we know what's going on. I mean, if it's a charge, I think that's a surprise to everybody. I don't even think people are even following this case as close.
No.
At all. Like, I think this gentleman will come and go. He'll get off, and it'll be the same old story. Even though, again, he basically initiated the whole thing by going there with a gun. Anywhere you going with a gun, you looking for something.
Which is crazy because we know damn well if we go to the club and motherfucker's got a gun on him illegally and a fight pops off and you blast somebody, you're getting a murder off the rip.
And you don't even have the gun concealed. You just got the gun out.
Yes.
You walking anywhere you walking with a gun out in your hands, you look crazy. So of course, don't be surprised if somebody's trying to run at you to stop you from shooting anybody.
Especially if you're talking about shooting people and you putting them out. If you point the gun at me, I'm trying to get that shit before I give you the chance to shoot.
Right.
That's just what I'm doing. That's natural instinct.
And you're at a protest. Like, I think in context of where you were, like, it actually doesn't make sense for you to have a gun, especially if you're not law enforcement.
Right. That's another shitty situation.
That was a really good consensus we came up with there. I like that.
Yeah, he's a bitch. He's not gonna get murdered, but he will get charged with something. And you know what the nastiest shit is though, John? I was watching Fox and Geraldo was on there. He's a fucking pussy.
Mm-hmm.
He was on there and he was going, obviously a dopey kid, hero complex, blah blah. But you can tell this is a kid that's gonna grow up with a good moral core.
Come on, bro. And that's the shit
talking about. You saw this motherfucker murder somebody. You think he has a moral core? Why? Because he has a comb over and he's chubby?
You know, it's crazy that Geraldo is very influential too. So like when he says certain things like that on a platform like Fox News, like believe it or not, there are people who will sit and they will be like, you know what, I understand where he's coming from, and they will believe it too. And I think it's because like, you know, you look at your own child and that could be your child in that same exact situation, and you would want somebody to defend them and stick up for them. So I think that's why people kind of like, you know what, like I'm going to stick to this side because this makes the most sense to me because it's selfish.
And Fox News did a great job of continually to pan to his mom and show his mom crying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the craziest part about even them panning to his mom, you drove him there.
Yeah, bitch, this is your fault. You should get charged too.
There should be some accountability on the mom. Like, who drives their child to go to a protest on?
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me ask you this, bro. When we were 17, like, would you ever even think to do that?
No, I'm not going to no protest with a gun.
I wouldn't give a fuck what the protest was about. I'm trying to fuck with some Johns. I might go to the movies.
For sure, yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
And that's the part. Like, who is he influenced by? Let's dig into his background. Let's dig into what he's into.
And that's what Tosh just said in the comments. Plaxico Barris. Plaxico Barris got charged for what did he do? A 2-year bid because he shot himself.
He shot his fucking self.
He shot himself.
He shot his fucking self.
They gave him a 2-year bid because he shot his fucking self. So like, don't do that self-defense shit here. And this motherfucker's going to the club with the pistol because he thinks he needs self-defense, and he shot himself. Didn't even shoot anybody else, and they still gave him a 2-year bid.
They find a gun on Lil Wayne's bus, he goes to jail for 5 years.
Like,
go to jail for 5 years.
Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, yeah, how can you watch on cam a motherfucker kill somebody and sit there on Fox News and say he's got a good moral core?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are we doing here?
And then say he walks that only gonna do one thing, and that's encourage other people to do the same shit.
For sure.
If he gets off, okay, bet we can do this. We can drive an hour and a half away with an AR-15 and shoot somebody and go home.
And it just reinforces the concept that those people, majority white, all white, but the majority of those people that think that like that's their country and they have the right to protect what the image of their country is. Let's encourage that. And that's fucked up.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
And how do you guys feel about they came out and said the Ahmaud Arbery juries, I think one black juror and the rest of them's all white. Are they going to get off of that? Because that would be wild.
I mean, that jury thing, I kind of understand it though. Like
Because the majority of the population in that county is white, or
no, because like if even I'm polled for that, and they're like, are you familiar with the case? Obviously, yes, I'm familiar with it. And then they're like, when they start to ask you certain questions, it's like I'm gonna disqualify myself, not purposely, but like I feel like most black people are gonna be disqualified from that situation. And truthfully, I feel like going forward in this country, that's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be really difficult to get black people on juries if you want them to be honest with the qualifying questions and stuff like that. Like there's no way that people are gonna be like, yeah, I'm okay with this situation or this court case or whatever where this black person was killed or this white person is going to get off for the situation. Like it's impossible to be honest about that. So because you're going to be honest, I mean, it's impossible to be honest and still be put on the case because you're immediately going to be like, this is bullshit. Like
that's an interesting concept too, Dex, because like I think that whole thought process back then was like, yeah, we'll move it to a different county because they won't see it in the local news and the local papers. And now we have an abundance of resources, so everybody knows the news. So is that even relevant anymore?
I don't think it makes sense.
Like everybody's going to hear about it. Like
even the George Floyd situation, they're like, yeah, like there's no way they sat and they had like real conversations with those jurors, and they're like, I have no idea what George Floyd is. I don't know what happened. Like that's ridiculous.
I've been a juror one time, and it was about asbestos, and I wanted to be on it because I did want to see how that interaction in the courtroom was. And a part of me was like, I don't want to do it because this is a week of my life where I'm gonna just be sitting in the fucking courtroom. But I did get selected, so I sat there, and like you said, they it wasn't the lawyers asking questions. I guess they might do that in high profile cases or murder trials, but mine was on a lower level. And I really just filled out a piece of paper like ABC answers type shit. And it was like, do you know what asbestos is? Are you biased towards people smoke cigarettes? Blah, 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 all this random shit. And I'm just answering the questions, get selected, and I'm seeing the process. I'm like, damn, I'm really a fucking juror right now. And like the fucking whatever I say basically go. So what you saying, one black person on the jury, that's kind of interesting because that one person could change the outcome of the trial.
They could, yeah.
Because y'all do have to all come out with the same agreement that guilty or not guilty. If one person say, nah, he ain't guilty, or one person does say, nah, he guilty, it ain't no shut and closed case.
Now let me ask you this. Am I wrong? I'll ask this because I'm the white. Am I wrong for assuming that all white jury would be detrimental to getting the guilty verdict?
I just think history has shown that it has been. I mean, I think it's crazy for us to still think that way, but at the same time, though, it's hard to not think that way too.
Because we all think the Ahmaud Arbery shit's a case closed kind of John, right? Open and shut. Obviously, they fucked up. Like game over. Like that shit's one of the things that really like opened up the whole. And it's weird to think about, but like statistically, I think right now the civil rights movement's the largest it's ever been.
I mean, the craziest part about being in on a case is, regardless if the defense attorney knows, okay, say Kyle Rittenhouse attorney knows he's dead wrong, he'll paint the picture. And lawyers really, I mean, shit, they get paid what they do for a reason. They will find a way to make it so, nah, that person's wrong. He shot him for this reason. They will make that person look like the damn devil.
They do.
Nah, he did the right thing. Like this person was running at him, charging him with a gun. And the guy, like you said, Dill, if somebody's at a fucking protest with a gun and a AR-15 and you scared they might shoot a mass shooting, maybe he's running to stop it. But if the defense attorney is any good, they're going to say, nah, he wasn't trying to stop it at all. He just wanted to get a body or whatever. Say the guy had a fucking DUI and a misdemeanor assault charge or some dumb shit. They're going to use that to make him look like the bad guy. Oh, this is just an innocent high schooler. Look at him crying. He's distraught on the stand. It's all a game. And that's how I looked at it. Like, this shit is really fucking theatrics in here. Like, this is crazy. And somebody easily influenced will give into that shit.
Yeah, they will. And it's somebody's life too at the end of the day. But you're all right. That is what they did too. They actually argued self-defense with Kyle Rittenhouse and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's extremely interesting, like how that shit plays out, and then I wonder, like, if previous history should be blocked out on the court cases or not. But I guess, like, kind of shows the tendencies on shit. So like, yeah, I get it. Fucked up situation. Kyle Rittenhouse is a bitch.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, he's a fucking hoe. He's a bitch. He's the kind of kid. Not gonna do that. I feel like he's the kind of kid that would have trouble with bullies when he was younger and shit. Like he's obviously a virgin. I'll tell you this.
You wouldn't be kicked to be on this case though. Like just based on just how you even would react to that. Like you would you know how this should go, but they wouldn't pick you because like you seem
because he's a virgin. You're not driving an hour and a half to go to a protest unless you're a virgin. He's a virgin. Not only is he a virgin, he's probably never kissed a John. He's definitely never got a finger pop. 100% never finger popped a John. He's a fucking virgin. He's a loser. He was on safety patrol. He was probably on ROTC. He's a fucking lame. And his mom's fat. So
and he can't cry on cue.
You cannot cry on cue.
Like you can't even cry on cue. His mom's fat. He's a virgin. He can't dress like that. Dude's probably a loser. He doesn't have that much friends, and he thought he was gonna like have some kind of importance. Like, oh, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna stand up for my brothers and shit. These motherfuckers don't even fuck with you, bro.
The crazy part is,
wait, that part's not true though, because when he got arrested, those people like they did like a
That's after he did the deed though, bro. Beforehand, they wouldn't even let him in the corny ass group because he's not physically fit. You can't be a little chubby 7. You 17, you're supposed to be in your physical prime, you little fuck boy. You're not even fucking no bitches, dog. What's wrong with you? Like you out here taking an AR-15, you're a cornball, buddy. You're a cornball.
Yeah, but he knows what he's going to get from, I killed somebody and shot somebody. So it's going to be a community back home for him. It's something there for him.
Now he's crying, bro. Now he's at the courthouse crying, but they caught him at the bar fucking 3 months later, violating his probation at the bar, drinking and shit, bragging about it.
Right.
So he's at the bar, bro.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's 17, he was at the bar. But in his state, it's legal to be at the bar as long as you're accompanied by a parent guardian. And obviously, his fat ass mom's okay with him doing that. Why the fuck he drunk? And I'm surprised they got the kind of car that can make it an hour and a half because they look like white trash. And trust me, I know what white trash look like. Them motherfuckers look like white trash, dog. You feel me? Like white trash. I know his mom pussy smell like pennies, dog.
Yeah.
100% pussy smell like pennies. Nasty ass puss. No period either. Straight pennies. Fuck Kyle Rittenhouse, dog.
Well, that's Kyle Rittenhouse.
Fuck that shit. Y'all think OJ really did it?
Oh, Caitlyn Jenner thinks he did.
Tell me about it, Dex.
On Big Brother, there's Caitlyn Jenner's on Big Brother. I want to say it's in either Australia or like London or something like that. And she was talking and she said that OJ. This is the part. This story is so bizarre to me. So I read this whole story, right? And I'll present it to you the same way I read it. Caitlyn Jenner revealed that OJ Simpson said to Nicole Brown, I will kill you and I could kill you and I would get away with it. And then sure enough, like it happened. He killed her and he got away with it. And then and Caitlyn Jenner, like she was over the house, as Bruce at the time, was over the house 2 days before the murder had happened. And then she goes into this whole story about it. And then she goes, that's what Nicole told
Nicole?
Caitlyn. Bruce.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
This whole story on Big Brother, whatever, right? And then goes, well, that's what Kris Jenner told me. And it's just like, what the fuck? You put this whole thing out there and you talk about it, and it's like an admission, like it's a series. And then it's like, well, Nicole told Kris and Kris told me. And it's like, nah, that ain't it. That's not gonna fly.
Yeah, I mean, that just sounds problematic. That sounds like something to get ratings on the show. I mean,
and you know what the kind of not funny part about that, John? Did you have something you could go ahead?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know what the not funny part about that shit is though? Bruce / Caitlyn killed somebody and got away with it.
Recently.
Yeah, like she bodied somebody in a car. She fucked somebody else in the car.
Wasn't it like she was in the car and somebody hit her car and hit somebody else?
I think she hit somebody, or like it was. I think she hit somebody, but it was their fault, and they checked. Something along the lines of that, but she did get in trouble for it. Or he.
And then ran for governor.
And then ran for governor. And that very interesting part about Caitlyn Jenner is she doesn't believe in like same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I ain't really got too much for Caitlyn Jenner, but that whole situation just sounds dumb. It sounds like when people don't have nothing to talk about,
yeah,
they bring up something that they heard. And I mean, I don't think that's the information you share on the damn Big Brother.
Mhm.
Like I feel like if that was the case and use this stand-up person that chooses to run for governor in your future, you go and you let somebody know if you feel that strongly about it, that you want to say it on national TV. That sounds a little crazy. You say that 30 years later. Uh, you're a little late, Caitlin. It's a little late, bro.
Also, you shouldn't talk about things that you weren't there for. Like Bruce was there, and Bruce isn't here to speak for himself. So you shouldn't talk about something.
Right. And
You
we're
know what's
talking
crazy,
about a
bro?
murder.
Like, what's one of their magazines, like the gossip magazines? I used to work like National Enquirer, right? That's
Uh-huh.
it. So National Enquirer, like I used to work at Acme, so I used to see them like posted up on my register. And National Enquirer had an article like 2008, and it was like Kim caught Bruce dressed in all Chris's panties and shit. And I was like, damn, National Enquirer really be hating on people, you know? Like that shit,
Right.
that shit
Right.
was rude, dog. He
Right.
was really in there going crazy in the garage. He was going nuts in the garage.
It's a little
He
different.
had a whole silk set on. His mother's 6'3", an Olympic athlete.
Could you
This motherfucker
imagine?
tucking his meat with a silk set
The
on.
craziest part is if you ask the old head,
That's
you
so
ask the
wild.
old head,
That's so wild. You know, it's crazy because he was in the crib with all bitches. And
that's the part that I know like older people are kind of fucked up by, because if you ask them, they will tell you Bruce Jenner was the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the wildest shit.
Yeah.
They'll say no, Bruce Jenner was the fucking man, like winning every award at the Olympics.
The best girl
On the
athlete we've
cover
ever
of
had.
Wheaties Box, athlete. That's some wild shit.
But just think about how boring life had to be at that time, where like you really cared about who won the Olympics. Like we could care less now. We have
Right.
like TV shows and stuff to watch.
I
and
wouldn't say that, bro. We just had a whole phenomenon about Shikari.
Yeah, but
Shikari
she
wasn't
didn't even
even
get
in the
there.
Olympics,
Yeah,
though.
she didn't even get
Before
there.
that, like before Shikari, we had fucking Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt.
Yeah,
like,
but, like,
we
Michael
still care.
Phelps was on the Wheaties.
Douglas, Simone Biles. Like
Yeah.
like when people really do their thing, we make them celebrities still.
We make them known, and then they do Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars is a check, my man.
Yeah, but like we don't care. Like we don't care about those people though. Like Michael Phelps could turn into a woman today, and we'd be like, "Wow, okay." We don't care about that. When Bruce
That shit would be
Jenner,
big news, bro. That shit would be a big news.
when Bruce Jenner transitioned, like people were like upset. Like if Michael Phelps transitioned, like I really don't think we would care.
Yeah, I'm
we
with
wouldn't.
you. I don't think we
Be
would.
honest,
I think it would be the same 20 people on social media making it a big deal, but
Yeah,
as far as a whole people, I don't think we would give a fuck. And
That
even
show'd
with
be
the Shikari situation, yeah, it was a certain amount of people rooting for her, but it was also a section of people not with it. Like, nah, I don't want her representing the country. Nah, I mean, they made it a point to not make sure she didn't go. Okay, that was the rules. They could have bent it for her if they wanted to, but I mean, the soccer player tested or did an ad for marijuana products. They didn't give a fuck.
Was she white?
Yeah, come on, man. Of course. If they wanted Shikari there, should have been there. But nah, like you said, we don't really put too much stock into it nowadays. It's kind of fucked up because I mean I think it's a part of group think that'll have us rooting for Simone Biles, but we don't really know too much about Simone Biles
or care.
Yeah, or care.
With those girls, Simone and Gabby, like they're black girls doing gymnastics. So like there's a different reason.
There's a little element to it,
but we still don't care.
No, not at all. I mean, we make a bigger deal of an NBA championship. We don't give a fuck when they win gold. Y'all supposed to win gold.
Yeah, that's what
as Americans, we're cocky. We feel like we're supposed to win everything. So it's not a surprise to us nowadays when we win gold at the Olympics. We feel like we're supposed to win. We're the dominant country. So yeah, shout out to Caitlin, I guess.
All right, man. Let's do one more and then wrap it up. You guys want to do Aaron Rodgers or Scottie Pippen?
It's up to you. You call it.
I would probably say this. Well, I don't know. I think the Aaron story is probably a little bit more popular and it's like, more timely but the Scottie one is different. Like, I don't think I've heard a lot of people talk about that.
All right, let's go Aaron. I'll do Scottie for random. What do we want to talk about Aaron Rodgers in? Give me a breakdown, Dex.
With the COVID stuff, as far as like lying about it and like not being vaccinated and all that kind of stuff. And people are banned about it.
Yeah, I know what's going on. I thought you were going to do a little intro, dog. Tell me the
Oh,
situation.
my bad. Well, you know, like
I know what's
and then he said,
happening.
what's the relevancy? I don't know, like the latest thing. Something else just happened with it, but basically, what's coming out is they're going to give him a fine, and the fine is 15,000 or something like that. And a lot of people are saying like it's a low amount. They're going to fine him, yeah, but it's like a low amount. They're saying it's not like a large fine that they're giving him, and people don't think it's fair. People are upset about it. Then other people are like, it's not that big of a deal, and he should be able to get vaccinated or not get vaccinated, up to like however he decides to do it. And I actually agree with that. I don't think that he should have to get vaccinated. I think that if the league's rules are like either you do it or you have to get like the testing or whatever, he opted to do the testing. I think that's just kind of, it is what it is with this situation. It's kind of simple to me, to be honest with you. I don't really think this story is that big of a deal.
Agreed. I mean, I'm like, here's my whole thing that I thought when the story first broke, because obviously he told the media that he got the vax and he lied. But my big thing was, did he tell the team that he got the vax or not? Because, like, all right, it's one thing to lie to the media, but it's another thing to lie to your teammates and, like, allow them to be around you when you don't have the mask on, and, like, you're putting them in a jeopardizing situation on the field and the other people you're playing against. But apparently he told the NFL and the team, the actual Packers, that he didn't have the vax.
Yeah, he asked for an exemption. Actually, he asked for doing an exemption. I believe he even said like a religious practice he wanted to do instead of getting vaccinated, and they did reject it. So if he's asking the NFL, I'm sure he told his team, you know, like, I'm not vaccinated. I don't want to be vaccinated. And I'm sure he's not the only one, too. A lot of people, though, truthfully, are comparing this to Kyrie. That's the reason why this is such a big story on social media, because like Kyrie's getting murdered for it. But my biggest thing with that is that the NBA and the NFL have two totally different rules. And because of that, like, there's two totally different situations that are happening. And I don't think they're comparable.
Specifically with what the city Kyrie plays in. But I do think it's interesting, like, if you watched the Pat McCaffrey, that's how you say it, right? McCaffrey or McCaffrey? The punter?
McAfee, my bad.
McAfee. So he had his interview with McAfee, and basically he said he was allergic to ingredients in 2 of the vaxes, and the third vax, he was really concerned about being sterile. And that's what he thought. And I thought it was like, they gave the internet a fucking run when Nicki Minaj said she had a cousin that said her balls swelled and they couldn't have kids. But here goes Aaron Rodgers, the fucking top quarterback in the NFL, saying he didn't get the vax because he was scared he couldn't have kids. And nobody really gave a fuck.
I think we're just at this place now where it's like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Like, I don't think we care, and I think they want us to care. Like, even with the Nicki Minaj stuff.
Like, it was literally, what, like a month ago that we flamed Nicki Minaj? Her cousin saying
the Nicki Minaj stuff, the flaming of Nicki Minaj is because her story sounded insane. Like, and it was a lie, clearly. Like, that's the reason why there was so much conversation about that. Like, if anything, I don't think people took it serious. People laughed at Nicki Minaj. And I think with him, I don't even think people are taking it serious. I just think we're just at a point where we just don't care. Like, y'all want us to care more than we actually do.
And I'm pretty sure even like with his teammates, like, was saying they probably all knew, like, yeah, Aaron don't got it, but I'm pretty sure at their level and the shape they got to be in, they probably don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't feel, and it's probably multiple people on the team that don't have it. And the thing that gets me is, like, I've been tuning into the sports radio and sports podcast, and they're like, oh, Aaron's gonna miss games, it's selfish, blah blah blah. But the thing about it is, if you get it and you vax, you still gonna miss a game.
Mm-hmm.
If you get it and you're not vax, you're gonna miss a game.
Well, that's the thing with the if you get it with the vax, you have the opportunity to get 2 negative tests beforehand.
Yeah, but you still miss. You still miss it.
Like, that's the only difference. So if you get it with the vax, you have 2 opportunities to produce a negative test, and if you get the negative test, then you can play.
And I mean, is that a big incentive, really?
To me, I don't necessarily think so.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like he doesn't get it. We making it a big deal, but it's crazy. Like Dex said, it's just crazy because I feel like Aaron said the same thing as Kyrie. I got reasons. These are my reasons. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. He gave his reasons. Either you like it or you don't. I mean, the world's still gonna fucking move. Packers lose a game. Okay, he'll be back next week.
Yeah,
ain't shit changed. He ain't got the vax still. He'll be out there on the field. It's just weird. I mean, I feel like the vaccine talk for the most part has ran its course. The stories I don't think are going to be as big anymore. I mean, it's literal play like a bunch of players out every week from every sport when they get it, because you get it, like you said, you still got to miss time.
Mhm.
So I don't see the narrative of the vaccine carrying too much weight for too much longer, unless we get another damn strain and this shit start killing people.
Do we
I
feel
mean,
like
it's just getting tiring at this point.
I mean, I saw Jay Williams check Stephen A on it, but do we feel like people drilled down on Kyrie a little bit more than they did Aaron?
They did for them. They did. I mean, I'm not even gonna say why, but they
And
did.
it was interesting because Kyrie came out and said, "I'm not anti-vax,
Right.
I'm more anti how they're treating people to get the vax." And I fuck with that from Kyrie's opinion. Like, yeah, like I haven't done the research like that, but I'm really upset about how they're forcing people to get this shit. To where Aaron came out and said completely, like, "Yeah, I'm anti-vax. I'm not getting that shit." And like, it seems like he's kind of getting the pass on it, and they dogged Kyrie.
I think also I think Black people are expected to be okay with getting the vaccination. To be honest with you, I don't really think that people expect pushback from Black people anymore with the vaccination. Because at the beginning of it, I think that was like a big thing that it's like Black people are not going to do this because they don't trust the government. But then they put Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in there, and they let you, and they pranced around in their Converse and their Chucks. And I think Black people were like, you know what, Joe said it's cool, so let me go get it. And like Black people showed up in record numbers to get the vaccination. So then now it turned to this whole thing, because remember before it was just people in Florida, and people were talking about people who don't get the vaccination or don't wear masks. I'm sorry, they're uneducated and all that stuff, and you were putting it to like white people. Then when you turn around and then Black people starting to get the vaccination, like we kind of took that as like a badge of honor almost, where it's like we're the ones that are leading the charge of getting the vaccination and stuff like that. And then it became like this big push, and you felt like you were on the winning team because you were getting the vaccination. Then you have a Black athlete who comes out and says, "I'm not going to do it." It's like, what the hell? Like, we're all doing this. You have to do it. It's like it literally is like a group think situation.
Tasha said in the comments that, "Do you remember when we thought Black people couldn't get COVID?" And yes, the fuck I do, because I was getting chirps from all my friends about it. Y'all weak ass white immune system.
No, that was a wild little narrative right there.
Like, we can't even get it. Y'all bad pussy.
You know what's crazy though? Tasha created that though. Like with me, like she's the first person I've ever heard say that. And when she said it, I'm like, well, I don't know no Black people with it, so yeah. And it's either believe that or to go with Carrie Hilson and say it comes from 5G. And I'm like, I think I'd rather not get it.
No, I think it's obviously like they're kind of shaming Kyrie way more than they did.
I still have not it.
Not unexpected. Like it's not unexpected. Yeah, John, you haven't got it. I mean, I know mad Black people that have got it.
I've never had COVID either.
I mean, yeah, I don't like want to start listing who had it. I had it. Obviously, I'm white, so that proves the theory, right? That proves the theory. I'm white. Random thoughts?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll start it off.
Go ahead.
Never mind. You got it, bro.
50 Cent's the greatest TV show creator of all time. I'm gonna just say it. I know. That's a little straight. Maybe him or Shonda Rhimes.
Shonda Rhimes?
She did like Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder. So like Aaron Spelling means nothing to you.
Huh?
Aaron Spelling. Good for you.
Aaron Spelling means nothing to you. Like that just nobody.
Give me some shows. Give me some shows.
902 Charmed.
Did she create Charm, or did he create Charm too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't, none of these shows resonate with me.
Let's say
these shows don't resonate with me.
Futurama, The Simpsons. That's where I would go with it.
Okay. Maybe not. But I feel like TV. This man, his body, and people, everybody right now. He got us watching stars.
I'd have to say it's Vince McMahon. I think he's the greatest television creator of all time. Yeah, for sure.
You going Vince?
Yeah, I think I would definitely say Vince over anybody else.
Dex missed our wrestling episode.
Was that last week?
Also, for people that don't know, Dex is the biggest wrestling fan I know.
At 33 years old. At 33 years old.
And NWO or DX?
Caught up on it. Yeah. And this shit is amazing.
You think DX over NWO, huh?
Yeah. I wasn't a WCW guy, so it's always anything WWE related or F related.
I think NWO probably completely recreated the image of wrestling to where it completely launched into reality wrestling.
I see it.
We changed the format.
I'm with you, Dex. I wasn't a WCW guy. Shout out to DX.
Also,
DX wasn't created until after NWO. They created the reality concept of wrestling.
Yeah, but Hulk Hogan was a part of that, and I don't fool with Hulk Hogan
because he's a racist.
Yeah.
I feel that. Random thought for me, I'll go with Scottie Pippen's a bitch.
Why is that?
Everybody a bitch today.
Pippen just needs to shut the fuck up, bro. Scottie Pippen was a great player, and I think people downplay that. Scottie Pippen would have been top 50 without Jordan. I truly believe that. I think he was a great player, super versatile, knew how to create the offense, unreal defender. Bro, you are Scottie Pippen, a household name because Michael Jordan. You signed off on the documentary. Don't sign off on the documentary and then come back fucking 8 months later talking about, well, Michael Jordan made 10 mil off it and we didn't make anything. You should have put that in your contract, pussy. What the fuck? You didn't have to be in it, stupid. Make your own doc. What the fuck is wrong with you, buddy? Nut ass boy, dog. And Scott,
Scotty's been going through some things though. You got to realize Scottie Pippen, his face is melting off, and his wife is cheating on him left and right with Future, and while they're married in their house and stuff like that. It's just, the guy's going through a tough time. You got to give him a little bit of slack. When
Scotty says weird shit they always talk about the flu game, but they don't talk about the back pain game. Scotty, you gotta relax, bro. You gotta fucking relax, bro.
We don't talk about it because we don't give a fuck.
Scotty, we don't care. Shout out to Scotty, but we don't care.
It wasn't that deep to you, Scotty. You shouldn't sign that 10-year, $1 million deal, motherfucker. I'm getting that shit from corporate jobs.
That Jordan told you not to sign. You gotta relax.
Relax, Scotty. You nut ass boy. Yeah. You coming in all hot, all late, dog. Shut the fuck up.
We got a son playing D1 and we don't even know about him.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Scotty.
Big up Scotty Jr., man. You got him looking crazy out here.
Yeah, you got yourself looking crazy. You got your bitch looking crazy. Come on, Scotty. You gotta relax, bud. Gotta relax. Yeah, this just makes me sad seeing my mans because I fuck with Scotty and I love Scotty sneakers. I used to buy them every year. So it's sad to see, but he's got to fucking chill. That's my random thought. Dex, I know I put you on the spot because I didn't really tell you we do random thoughts, but you got a random thought?
I'm always prepared. Random thought. Thanksgiving is coming up, and I really think that we should limit the Thanksgiving menu. I think that the Thanksgiving menu is just getting out of hand, and we're dealing with inflation, and we're dealing with these crazy prices, and people can't get stuff shipped over. Why don't we take this opportunity to limit what we do for Thanksgiving? Let's just limit to maybe 2 carbs, 2 vegetables, 1 meat, and a dessert, and just call it a day.
It's not a bad idea. I'm all for getting turkey the fuck out of here though on Thanksgiving.
I don't like
the most overrated thing on the menu at Thanksgiving is turkey.
So what would you eat as a meat? Ham?
Give me ham. My family, we got chicken. So, I'm never mad at chicken.
Yeah.
Get turkey the fuck out of here. The driest shit ever.
I like
this might just be me, but have you guys ever left a family meal on Thanksgiving and been disappointed?
No.
Nah. As long as there's mac and cheese and ham, I'm good. I could eat that by itself.
Wonder why it's just me.
My favorite thing is though to talk to you about this kind of stuff. I think it's fascinating because I feel like I say this often, but I don't have any Caucasian friends. So
my stepmom's side of the family is awful cooks, and literally the last 4 years, I went to that side of the family's house for Thanksgiving. I've left and stopped at Wawa on the way home.
That's fucked up.
What's on the menu?
Everything that you would think's on the menu, but trash.
Okay,
I went to that joint. Fuck up. I know some of them listen, but hey, sorry, keeping it a buck. Okay, last time I went there was a crock pot of macaroni shells, and then they had the shredded cheese on top of the crock pot.
Oh no!
What are we doing here?
How is y'all Mac? How is y'all Mac?
What the fuck are we doing here? It's a mac and cheese in a crock pot, John, and just a bag of shredded cheese on top of the crock pot. What the fuck are we doing here? Yeah. What are we doing here? Mac and cheese shouldn't be in a crock pot, dog. Bake that bitch.
Yeah, if you can't see the strings of the cheese when you pull it up on Thanksgiving, something ain't right.
No, that shit falling off like little toy soldiers.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Oh my God! You know, like the worst thing you ever go to a Thanksgiving meal and you throw your plate away and try and act like you ate it, like you like dump it off and you're like, ooh, what's it?
I've never had to do that.
Yeah, me neither.
Outside of my mom, white people can only cook like baked goods. That's it.
I've never had baked goods from a person who was Caucasian that was bad. I do agree with that.
If we can cook baked goods, we got that. But like the actual food, it's just extremely dry for some reason. Just very, very dry.
That sucks.
Like extremely dry. Like you'll just eat it and you'll be like, well, look. Not only does it lack seasoning, but it's extremely dry, and it's like, what am I doing here?
I bet you don't go to sleep after you eat it though.
Sleep, motherfucker. That shit's like a 5 hour. I eat some of that shit. I feel like I just ate a bunch of twigs. I'll start eating flash.
That's
what I'm saying. For us, like we die after we eat all that.
It's death. You want to be home,
motherfucker. If you guys let me know the next time you scoop up mac and cheese out of a crock pot.
I've never seen that in my life.
White people have a few things. We got baked goods, we got lasagna, and we got meatballs, and that's about it.
Anybody can do
meatballs.
We got meatballs, dog. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't think y'all can claim meatballs because we body meatballs too.
Meatballs corny, dog. I just had some Jamaican meatballs last week, dog. Them just too spicy.
What's a Jamaican meatball?
You wasn't there, so you wouldn't know, dog. It's
nah, that don't count. We talking about meatballs with the sauce.
Yeah,
shit had sauce. It was mad spicy. It was too much for my palate.
Not jerk sauce, but we talking about
it was too much for my palate.
That jerk sauce on. That's a different one. I actually want to try that.
That shit might be fire made by the right person. That shit was probably hitting for real, Dex. He don't know what he's talking about.
The right palate.
Nah, that shit was lit, dog. I had 5, and then like everybody's making fun of me, like, "Yo, why you so red?" And I was like, "Oh, I just was in the sun a lot."
It's 48 degrees outside.
It was mad cold. I'm like, "Yo, I got a tan." It's like when I took that gas station. You know,
this guy's.
Anyway, let's do songs of the week so we can end it up.
All right, songs of the week. I normally go first. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna do something on Nipsey Hussle's Flossin' Boy 2. I'm gonna do where it's at. Matter of fact, it might be on Mailbox Money. I can't find it. Here we go. No Nigga Like Me, featuring Trader Truth. Y'all hear it? Me neither.
It's crazy that Facebook let y'all play songs. If we did songs, they would snatch us down right away.
That's fucked up. Somebody else go first. My shit's still hooked up to my Bluetooth. Y'all heard me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Let me disconnect this shit. All right, go ahead.
Oh, I think it's happening. Wait, so you guys actually played the songs?
Yeah.
So it's not connected, but I'll tell you the 2 songs that I've been listening to.
All right, text me the song. I'll start up. The train's going by. I'm going with Moneybag Yo, Brain Dead.
All right.
Maintain a level head. I live with no regrets, ain't taking back none I said. The dick hit different when I pop a perk to the head. You my Latino notary, I'm stamping it. Flashbacks of us fucking in the rain, I still had on my chains. Thought I saw you, but you not here, you left a stain on my brain. Just accept my flaws and all the slander that come with my name. Niggas ain't a factor, that's a fact, they can't play in my lane. Backseat of the Maybach, prison Rolex playing grown man. If you adore her, you got the deal, her ain't no price range. Tell me this is. Show me you won't run out on her. You say I'm not affectionate, it's not my fault, I don't know love. Always getting on your nerves, it be my choice of words. You got to be the one for me, look at all these hoes I curve. The blind can see how I'm coming, at least I'm rolling no money. So I'm not gonna play about this woman, right there to left me unconscious.
That's Moneybag Yo, Brandon.
It's the lovers, but we off in the same bed. You said I never think about you like I'm brain dead. I am
John, you can go ahead. I'm back. And John's on mute, but he's pulling up Nipsey Hussle for song.
No nigga like me.
I dropped 7 tapes and it was all the truth. Then my life's like a baller dude. Meet a gang of girls and they all be cute. You can fall for me, I can't fall for you. I'm in a CL6, that's the baller coupe. Fuck for cash, you a prostitute. Go to school, the girl I salute to make 100 mil. What I'm about to do to knock my hustle ain't possible. Me kill you, that's optional. Sauce never made lots of moves cause I'm an African and think like a Jew. I be doing me. Watching you is my example of what not to do. My shoestrings stay dodging blue. I had a hoop dream, but then I got the flow cause the routine is still watch the show. And you know I'ma do what I got to do. Picked up the sack, dropped the school, went hard to the bank. Bought some jewels, switched up my fingers to the proper view. Hopped in this rap, paid all my dues. I'm something like an Impala fool. I'm so LA, like a barbecue. These niggas talk a lot, but they want us new. I shop a lot, you know, cars and shoes. When I hit the block, I still rock my jewels. But I ain't one of these niggas that got a lot to prove. Nah, I got a lot to do. I wake up, nigga, to a awesome view. Way these labels trying to deal with rappers, got me fucking mad like I'm watching fruit. Cool, don't nigga like me.
That's Nipsey Hussle, no nigga like me. Off of Mailbox Money.
And we got Dex Song of the Week, Poke It Out, Wale featuring J. Cole.
Shout out to Wale.
cool and Dre.
Lauren, album of the year.
I just wanna see if you gon' lie, you gon' love me. I was getting bras way before I got the money. Honey, since I've been a star, they don't love me. The ceiling got stars when the star got no ceiling. Stick it out, poke it out, stick it out, poke it out. Yeah, she got a little butt, so what? Big bag, she can show enough. Poke it out, poke it out, poke it out. In regards to the bras, I thought I was done. Pick a side, and dying to jump. I've been letting things slide, they trying too hard. Cause I ain't left the city once to travel abroad. Nigga, I'm back on my bar shit. The sticking behind the Civic, we in the car service. I really just mind my business, I pray that God sort of. Can't really be long-winded, you talking short money today, we not cost cutting. Can you stick it out? Tell me she was quarantining, brand new titties out. And there might be a couple weeks that make them bitches bounce. So I mean it when I be like, what's this turn around? No, really, turn around. Okay, I just wanna see if you gon' lie, you gon' love me. I was getting bras way before I got the money. Honey, since I've been a star, they don't love me. The ceiling got stars when the star got no.
That was Poke It Out, Wale. Dex Song of the Week. Good song, Dex. Good for you, man.
I like that one a lot. But I will say though, I liked it when I heard it on the album, and I hate it that they're playing it on the radio now because one, it just shows me that I'm amazing. I should be working in radio, but also because I hate when everybody else likes what I like or know what I like.
Newsflash, that was the single before it dropped the album. So
Yeah.
See, but I don't listen to the radio no more.
And it has a video too, but yeah.
he dropped that first song. But I feel you.
The fact I was doing something. See, I'm not in the mix anymore.
I feel you, bro. I'm not mad at it.
Nah, I'm the same way. I'm very private with my music. Don't like my music. I like my music.
Yeah.
I feel that. All right, this was Views from the Chair, episode 52, featuring Dex from Bro Talk Live, industry friends, and a few other podcasts. Appreciate you joining us. It was a blast.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I love this. Is great.
MP3 and podcast version will be up tomorrow. So see you guys next week.
See you guys.